Yeah, so unfortunately, Eric Spoelstra and his wife Nikki are getting divorced. But fortunately, the Miami Heat waited until after his divorce proceedings were over before they gave him his 120 million 8-year contract extension. Ah, let's go. Hollering, but my arm hurting right now. And so this is somewhat of a win for Eric Spoelstra. But we never see stuff go like this in the favor. Like, so we glad to see this, that he's able to keep some of his money that he just got in this new contract. And lady, shut up, because he was already well paid anyway. So it's not like she's going to be missing that much in the divorce. Like, she's going to get well taken care of in the divorce. And not to mention they got three snot-nosed gremlins that are going to give her a hefty amount of money, I would assume, in the child support arena. So she's still going to make out good with this. Now, I'm sad to see that the divorce had to take place at all, because now you got three kids that are going to be raised by a single mother pretty much. They're likely to be with the mom most of the time. And we know that fathers are very much needed in our children's lives to, make well-rounded kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sad to see that they'll have to go back and forth from mom to dad and dad to mom. But I'm glad that as the employers of, the Miami Heat being the employers of Eric Spoelstra, that they took a minute and said, you know what? We're going to look out for my mans. We're going to make sure she can't get this. Because remember, Scottie Pippen, like, his situation ain't really go that well. They let Larson Pippen get all into his savings and 401k and everything. You know what I'm saying? And it just, we happy to see this, because the court systems do not rule in favor of men when it comes to this type of stuff. And ladies, y'all got to admit this. Like, a lot of women have pretty much made it a career to marry a man and take half his stuff. Marry another dude, take half his stuff, or have a baby by a dude and get money from that. You understand what I'm saying? They just awarded Nia Long $32,000 in child support a month, and they were shooting for $56,000 a month. And although we gotta admit, Nia Long is not one of the ratchet women who is like, oh, I'm gonna make a career out of having babies by rich dudes. Like, she makes money too, but we still gotta admit, 32 racks a month is way too much for a child. So she still is benefiting from it, I'm just saying, like, before we know it, the child support is going to be at $100,000 a month for a kid, which is astronomically ridiculous. But so excuse us for celebrating a win when we get it. You know what I'm saying? We'd be happy to see a win when we come across one, because otherwise it's just I don't understand how the court systems is just constantly making the laws easier and easier for women to take advantage of men in these situations. Like, it's ridiculous to me, especially when you look at, like, Congress and lawmakers. It normally tends to be a lot of men. So it's like, well, how do the laws keep ending up like this? You know what I'm saying? It's time to stop pandering for them votes, fellas, to the women, and make these laws a little more fair. You dig what I'm saying? Because other than that, man, they just running dudes' pockets out here for as a career, and then claiming to be boss chicks after that. But hey, I'm glad to see that they gave Eric Spoelstra some room to breathe. He like one of the highest paid coaches in the game right now, if not the highest paid coach in the game right now, as far as NBA, right? Because Popovich, I think, was $80 million for 5 years, and I think Eric is rumored to be 120 at how many years? At 8 years. They really close. They like, I think, want to say one of them is making about 15 a year, the other one about 16 a year. So congratulations to Eric Spoelstra, man. He kept that Miami team relevant and competing way heavier than most of us expected them to compete. And they look like they're going to be looking good as time goes forward. So shout out to the Miami Heat, and shout out to my dog Eric Spoelstra for retaining some of that change. This your boy P Camp. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Get at your boy.